What's up, everybody? I appreciate everybody that shows up to the stream. We are on another really good, profitable day. If you showed up to the stream yesterday or even the day before that, you've been taking profitable trades with ever since I started streaming. You've probably been, if you're following, you've been taking profitable trades with us. Yesterday, we made like 1,900 bucks. Today, we've made, that was on an $8,000 trade, right? Today, let's see, let me check. I think we've made almost $2,000 just today, and that was on a $6,000 trade. It's pretty legendary. Some trades that we're taking, and they're A-plus setups. They're A-plus setups. This is the channel that you want to follow and that you want to watch if you want to learn how to actually trade, right? And if you actually want to learn how to trade properly and profitably, right? So that's kind of like what we're going to cover today is, okay, so we took a short at the tippy top of the range today. It was great. It was awesome. I cannot complain. And or it was yesterday, actually, we got into the trade. So if you watched the stream yesterday, you saw literally where I was entering. You saw where I put my stop loss. You saw where my exit strategy was, right? And if you paid attention, the stream, even the day before that, you saw where my long entry was. You saw where my stop loss was. You saw where my take profits were. You saw all of it. You saw all of it live. And yeah, I mean, let's get into it. We've still got this trade open. And this is how you make over $4,000 in a week, right? Whenever you're only trading 6 to 8 grand. That's pretty good risk to reward ratio, at least in my opinion. I'm going to answer this first question. Dexter says that he couldn't make the stream today live, but he's going to check the recording. And if I have any advice for how TA changes, if you're setting up longer term trades, as opposed to, hour by hour trades. So day to week long trades, as opposed to how it is hour by hour. Absolutely, I do. And I'll answer those towards the end of the stream. So pay attention for the answer to that. But I want to get into the TA. I want to show everybody why we entered the long trade, why we entered the short trade, why both of them were profitable. And we're going to talk about how we've made, dude, I mean, over $4,000 this week. We made over $10,000 this month. We made over $4,000 in the past 2 days. Let's be real, which is great. Great money. It's great news. And we're all having a blast. I hope you're having a blast following along, doing it as well. And let's just get straight into the charts, man. There's no point in, poo-putting around. It is what it is. I did figure out a way that I can do this and keep the chat up without people having to see the inception stuff. So I will have the chat live in front of me. So if you want altcoin analysis, if there is an altcoin that you want analysis on, drop it in the comments section. If there is a asset, dude, I don't care. It can be gold. If you want to see analysis on gold, if you want to see analysis on, poo butt coin, let me know if it's an available pair, obviously. If you want to see analysis on literally anything, drop it in the comment section right now. As you can see, our short trade, I mean, this is what you're seeing on Bitcoin. Let's be real. And dude, I mean, we charted this out. We plotted this out yesterday in advance. You saw me take the trades live. There is no like, going back and saying, oh, this could have happened. This couldn't. No, this is what happened. Okay. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it play out right in front of our eyes. We've locked in over $1,200 profit. This was a $6,000 position. I've already taken 2 take profit levels. First take profit below, I think it was like 98.9 or something like that, right? 98.7, I believe, was my take profit level. It could have been 98.8 exactly. Then we had a take profit level at 97.6. I'll show you why those were the levels here in just a second. That way everybody can learn. Right? That's the whole point of probably why you're here. You're not here to be like, oh yeah, Drew made money. Good for him. You're here to learn how you can do the same with a minimal bankroll. Again, we're not crypto face. I'm not crypto face. I don't wish that I was, but I am envious of the bankroll that he has, right? He has a bankroll of hundreds of thousands of dollars that he's trading at 10, 20, 15x leverage, where he's making $1 million positions, $1 million+ positions, multi-million-dollar positions. We don't have that. I'm making relatable content of people that have $1,000, $500, $5,000, $8,000, less than 10 grand to go out and risk in these markets, right? Less than $1,000 some of these people, right, have to risk in these markets. But I'm also showing you how you can take $6,000 and make 2K off of it, how you can take $8,000 and make 2K off of it, right? And how you can do that multiple times on A+ setups over time and build your account from a $6,000 account to a $60,000 account over 60 days. Who knows? Maybe that'll be a challenge. 6K account to 60K in 60 days, baby. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a challenge like that. If that's the case and what we're seeing on the screen right now, we could probably do it. But anyways, here's my point. We are in over $1,200 profits. That's locked in on my 2 take profit levels that I already took profits on in realized profits on this position. It started out as a $6,000 position. Now the margin is down to $2,000. Okay. So I've already taken profits twice, and I took 1/3 of my position off at just under 98,000. I took another 1/3 of my position off once we got under 97,000, or no, it was 98.8 or 98.8 and then 97.7, something like that. So I took 1/3 of my position off. Now I'm letting the rest ride risk-free. I don't even have a take profit on this because I want to see if we're going to ride it down to these range lows, baby. And that's going to be big profit. Let's see what that would even be. If we take it down to the value area low that we were talking about yesterday, 93.1, we'll call it 93.2 just to be safe, because you know me, I don't like to take things all the way down to the exact level. I would rather be less risky. So what did I say the level was? 93.2. Yeah, we'll call it 93.3. That's another $1,600 profit. This could turn out to be a $3,000 profitable trade if we do write it down to this value area low, right? Am I necessarily trying to write it down that far? No, I've already got another 1,000 locked in right here. Right here, if I just took profits right here. Why am I not taking profits right here? Because I've already locked in $1,300, as you can see right here. I've already locked in $1,300, and my stop loss guarantees me that I lock in another $483. So you always trail your stop down, right? So whenever I'm seeing I'm guaranteed $1,750, no matter what, and guess where my stop loss is, baby? Right above the 100 moving average. And guess what we just fell below? The 200. So my guess is I'll probably be trailing my stop loss down somewhere around here to this previous swing low and this previous swing high right here, right? And that's above the 200 moving average. We see the 50 curling down. We see the 100 starting to curl down. We see the 9 that's already moved down and crossed the 50 and the 100. And then we see the 20 moving average coming down to try to cross the 100 right here, right? Or the 50 right here, and then the 100 right here. So we might be starting a downtrend, is my point. So I'm going to hold on to this position. And if I see a place where we're about to bounce, guess what? I'll open up a long position and still leave this bad boy open, because you can trade both ways. I talked about this yesterday. It's called a straddle. Even though I'm not necessarily straddling that price, what I am doing is I'm going to leave this open, and then maybe I take a swing trade from, the value area low up to the 200 moving average, right? Maybe I swing trade this right here, value area low up to the 200 moving average, boom. And that's what we do. We are on the 4-hour chart. I'll go to the 1-hour chart because we're not on the 1-hour chart. That's my bad. Value area low up to the 200. Maybe I swing it up here, and then I assume there's going to be a rejection up here. Guess what? I take a swing trade right here. I enter long, and then I ride it up to here, right? I take this. I don't sell off my short here, right? I take a swing trade. I ride it long because now these moving averages are starting to curl downwards, right? And I ride it up to the 200 moving average. I sell off my long position in maybe $500,000 worth of profit. And guess what? I flip my long position to double down on my short position. This is another thing that a lot of people don't do. They don't add to their winners, okay? Because they're like, oh, I'm scared to add to my winner. Don't be scared to add to your winner if it gets below a key level of resistance or a support, or above a key level of resistance, and then it back tests it, right? If I go down here and I open a long here and it rides all the way up to the 200 and then it rejects at the 200, I'm going to take my long, sell it, and flip, and then I'll double my position here, right, on this short, and I'll ride it down even further for even further profits, maybe down here to this actual area of support, which is, a long standing area of support, as you can see. And then I'll see what happens at this level. And if it continues to fall, then guess what? I'm measuring it all the way down to, the measurements that we took the other day. I think it was yesterday and the day before, to about $84,000, $82,000, and then the $74,000 levels. So you take all this stuff level by level, and I'm going to go through and show everybody why we took this trade that has now made us, guaranteed at least $1,750, right? All the way up to maybe even potentially $3,000, and how we took this also profitable trade of $1,900 on this long. Oh yeah, by the way, The the $50 order that I just that I kind of accidentally got into. I thought it was a larger order than it was, and I was kind of, salty. I got into SPX. I was trying to short it. I was trying to put like $250 on it. I accidentally only put a $50 trade in on it. Well, we made 16 bucks off of it. That's a 33% ROI, man. That is 33%. If you had put $1,000 on that, that's $330 that you just made overnight. Okay. Also, I didn't tell anybody about this trade because it happened whenever I got off of the stream, but I saw Ethereum entering this level of resistance at about $3,700, and it went up to about $3,750, got rejected, came down under $3,700, back tested it, and that's when I entered, and I shorted it all the way down to $3,451. It's probably lower than that now. That was a quick 250. I put $1,000 on that trade, and I made 25% almost in like 8 hours, 10, 12 hours, something like that. This stuff, like, this is not complicated stuff either. Like, when I say I entered based off of trend lines, dude, I entered based off of trend lines, support and resistance flips. Okay. Support and resistance flip. What was the resistance? Okay. This was the resistance right here. Look at it. It's that simple. It does not have to be that complex. When you make these trades, this was a long trade that I was talking about that would have 100% played out, like all the way up to here. Granted, we were saying, hey, it could run all the way up to the all-time highs. We were measuring if you could take it all the way up to the all-time high, what would that look like? That's what that would have looked like. But here's my point. This is exactly what I said was going to happen. This is what's funny. I was on this chart, right? And I was like, okay, we rode up. We kind of came up and tested, the $4,000 level. We're coming down. We're starting to go up. My bias, and you can go check me in these streams, go check it. And I said, my bias is we're probably going to come up here and then we're going to go right back down here. Well, that's exactly, I put my money where my mouth is 99% of the times, right? And so that's why I entered right here at the 36.99 or 36.90 level. And I shorted it all the way down here to 34.50, which was this other previous resistance. Textbook. And now guess what we've done? We've flipped it to resistance. This is an SR flip, okay? This is an SR flip. So this used to be support. Now this is resistance, okay? And we bearishly back tested it. Dude, if I would have seen this happening, I would have entered my short again to now go down here and target this level right here, which is about $3,000. Boom. You're looking at $3,100. That's what you're targeting. Boom. Like, so my bias is that if you can get an entry right here around 34.50 in the next few hours, cool, do it, because this is exactly what you're going to see, right? I'm going to show you. I think this is the short tool. Let me see. Yeah, it is. Okay. So say you enter at 34.50, right? Let's zoom in on this so that we can make it exactly what it is. 34, we'll call it 34.45, right? And then you put your stop loss above the 100 moving average. This is an incredibly aggressive stop loss. What I would rather do is put my stop loss like somewhere right here, which is above this wick, right? And then you're targeting those lows. Like, this is going to be an incredible trade setup. Like, this is going to be an incredible trade setup. Friggin' 11-to-1 risk to reward. Even if you wanted to go above the 100, it's still a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio, dude. Like, you're risking $1 to make $5. Like, this is a trade right here. Actually, I'm going to leave this up because we'll revisit this one. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave it just above the 100 moving average as the stop loss, right? We're going to take this off of the screen. But that's my point. That's why I entered this trade, because I was like, yo, we just came up and bearishly tested this support or this resistance. We wicked through it, immediately came back below it, kept banging on it. And the more you bang on this and you don't get above it at all, especially when it's a massive, massive resistance level that was right over here, dude, you're about to fall, especially whenever you're seeing Bitcoin doing exactly what Bitcoin's doing right now, which is BTC USD. Boom, right here. Especially when you're seeing Bitcoin do this, right? So let's get back to my whatever. Okay, so we took a $230 profit on ETH, just like randomly. One ETH, we shorted at 3x leverage. It cost us $1,000. We made $230, right? 25% ROI, 23.5% ROI, something like that, right? Why is my mouse freaking out? Jesus Christ. Sorry for, pardon my French. Then we took this thing is not cooperating. $15 short position on SPX, whatever. We took a $1,900 win on this long that was right here, right? We took this long, and why did we take this long? Again, this is very simple. We keep our trades simple, okay? Why did we take this long? That's why. It's that simple, man. We saw the cup and handle pattern, okay? Here's the trade thesis. This is the trade thesis on this pattern, okay? We identified the cup and handle pattern. If my internet is bugging out, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. Florida does whatever Florida does. The weather down here does whatever it wants to do. It is what it is. We saw this cup and handle pattern. Cup and handles are bullish patterns, right? Rounded bottom, nice rounded bottom. We saw the handle forming. It was going down trending. That was great. When you see a cup and handle, you want to see the highs of the cup and handle being relatively close to each other, which this one is, right? Then you want to see the low of the cup being at near-term lows. If you go back, like say 60 to 90 candles, you want to see it at near-term lows. This one was. It actually was the lowest that it had been since like way back here in like December, right? This is on an hourly chart, by the way. Then you want to see the handle starting to form. And if you know what the handle's forming, it's a bull flag, right? The bull flag, boom, there's the bull flag staff. And then here's the flag, right? So now it needs to be downward trending. If it needs to be either level or downward trending. If it's upward trending, it's not a cup and handle. It's not verified. It's not valid. There's nothing I cannot stress that enough. When you see this thing break out, what you have to see on a cup and handle breakout is a candle that goes above the breakout point, which is the trend line right here. And then it has to confirm on a subsequent candle afterwards. It does not have to confirm on the next candle. So long as it stays above this and never closes a candle below it, similar to like what this candle did, actually. This candle actually closed below it, so it nullified this breakout. This was a confirmed breakout, but when it closed back inside of this range, no longer a breakout, it resets everything. So then this is the breakout candle right here, and I will circle it in yellow. That's the breakout candle, right? Then the confirmation candle is right here, okay? So this is your confirmation candle. Then what you want to see is this confirmation candle close above the close of the candle that broke out of the range, right? Then you want to see it kind of go up and then come back and back test the bottom of this channel or the top of this channel, right? Now, if it comes within this far of it, you can consider that a test, right? This is, it's 98,650 as opposed to 98,250. Like it's $400 on an asset like Bitcoin that is, $98,000, at that point. Let's see what $400 divided by $98,000 is. It's literally 0.4%. So it came back within 0.4% of retesting this. That's good enough for me. That's a good entry point. I actually entered here on this retest, right? And then you can measure the cup and handle. If you want to know where you're targeting, you measure from the bottom of the cup all the way up to the top of the cup. You copy and paste it over here to where the breakout point is, and it'll give you a measurement of $105,400. The crazy part is that lines up with a previous swing high from right before or right after we hit the all-time high, and then we dumped out, and we came down here and we tested this, value area high and bounced. This was a swing high before we made a lower low, then a lower high and a lower low. So that's a key level of resistance now, right? And that is where this is telling you that the cup and handle could have gone. Now, I almost never try to take it all the way up to the top of it, right? I will look at what the 75% level or 65 to 75% level of that retracement would be of whatever it's called a measured move. Whatever that measured move would be, I'll take about 65 to 70% of it, and that's where my target will be. So my first target was right here. This would have been the secondary target if we could have broken through this. Now, there's a reason why I shorted here and I didn't target all the way up to here, and that's because this is also the value area high. You can see it. It's right here. It's this kind of orange line from the FRVP, which is a fixed range volume profile that we pulled. And this fixed range volume profile is from when we broke above 85 or 80K. And then we went all the way up to the all-time high. So that's where I pulled the range of all the volume that was traded at each price. And it told me this is where the high of the value area is. This is where the low of the value area is. And this is where the highest trading volume happened, which is called the point of control, right? So that's why whenever I did this trade, I did not target all the way up here or all the way up here. Why? Because I thought that we could probably get a nice little top out right in the 101.2 range. And the reason I saw that is because there was like this little itty bitty that no one saw, this little doji candle over here before we hit this massive dump, right? We came up here, we rejected off of this. We came down here, we put in a hammer, right? An inverted hammer, but then the doji came in and then bam, we dumped. So I was like, okay, that's kind of like the inflection point. That is a good target. And that's actually where I got out of that trade 100%. I took my first profits right here, I believe, at 99.8, because that was where this previous swing high was, right over here. So I was like, okay, that's going to be resistance. And then if we break through that, I'm comfortable taking profits at 101.2, which is right in the middle of the point of control and the value area high, right? So, and plus we had some moving averages. We were going to be overextended outside of these moving averages. And then I didn't want to get too overextended outside of the moving averages. And we had some levels from the 4-hour and from the daily that also coincided with 101.2 being a good profit taking area. So that's where I took the profits. Now, why did we enter the short position? That's the other thing, right? So let's get all this stuff up here. We'll leave that ray on there. We'll leave that ray on there. And then we will take off the cup and handle. And actually, we can take this other horizontal ray off because that's where the value area high is. So we know where that is. Okay. Now, why did I take the short up here, right? Why did I line that short up here? And why did I think that we were going to fall back down to here, right? So here's my bias on that. We got to zoom out so I can show it to you. And I'm going to take well, first off, we knew that this is a major area of resistance, right? Just from this swing high right here from before we took the massive, massive dump, right? Secondarily, we have the value area high here, right? But be that as it is, that's only two things, right? So what else did I see? And if you were on the call yesterday, you know exactly what I'm about to pull up, baby. And it is the 4-hour head and shoulders pattern. Now, I do not ever suggest that we front ran this head and shoulders. Okay. This is the only, okay. Let's address this first and foremost. Don't trade Bitcoin, only buy and hold it. Okay. So let's address this really quick. If I were to have bought Bitcoin and held it right here, right, I would be down how much percent, right? If you don't have time to trade, I get that. 100%. I agree. I think people should have holding bags and I think people should have trading bags, right? I would be down 6.26% on my position right now if I were to have bought $6,000 worth of Bitcoin right here. Instead, I sold $6,000 worth of Bitcoin right here and I made $3,000 on it potentially if I take it all the way down, but I made at the very least $1,750 guaranteed and I'm up $2,250. So if you don't have time to trade, I totally understand this comment, Russ. I totally understand it. If you do, it does make sense to trade because you can build your bags. So think about it like this. I took that short position, right? And I made $2,000 off of it. Great. Now I can buy $2,000 more worth of Bitcoin down here, right? I just increased my bags. Love it, right? That's what my bias is, okay? So anyways, let's get back to the charting, right? Because I appreciate you saying that, man. Like I really do. Because it gives me a chance to kind of help people understand why I trade, right? Because that can help me increase my bags, right? Which is great. Love it. So secondarily, right? whenever we saw this head and shoulders, I do not suggest that people front run a head and shoulders. Why did I front run it? And this is the only case. We're going to go over the rules of a head and shoulders in a second, exactly how you chart it and exactly the parameters that need to be met in order for a head and shoulders to be valid. But I need people to understand why I shorted up here. And it wasn't just based on the head and shoulders. It was based upon levels, right? But I did front run this head and shoulders, and it might play out, dude, all the way down to almost 75K, which is why I'm leaving this short open. Okay. That is the measured move on this. If you go to 75% level, it's a level I've been talking about all the time, which is 80K right here. That's about 75% of the measured move, right? We'll label it 75% of measured move. Boom. Done. Easy enough. Okay. Bam. So I mean, in my opinion, 80K it is in play. And if you want to know why, I'm going to pull up the VRVP and I'll show you why it's like super easy for us to get down to 80K if we lose 90. Okay. Because this is where all the volume is. If you look at the FRVP, and I'll take the head and shoulders off so that you can see it a little bit better. But if you look at the FRVP, this is the value area high of that, right? Right up here. And this is where the point of control is, which is right at like $97,000, which we have now lost, right? Now, this is all of the volume right here. All these yellow and purple bars over here, this is volume. So right when we get down here, this is where the volume really falls off. Once we get below about $95,000, volume starts to fall off. And then down here from about 87,000 all the way down to $76,000, volume is almost non-existent, but there's the only line in the sand where volume actually increases in terms of order volume is at 80K. So that's my point. Like, you could just keep this short open and ride it all the way down to 80K, or and worst case is you get stopped out at your stop loss because it reverses to the other direction. And then you flip long and everybody's happy and altcoins are pumping and Bitcoin's pumping and you make money on the way up. So here's my point. Let's take that off of there and put the head and shoulders back on because I've gotten a little off track. All right. Where's my head and shoulders? Bing, bang, boom. It's right here. Okay. So now I'm not saying that people should short this, like front run a head and shoulders. The reason why I got in on this is because of this FRVP, right? First and foremost, is because that's where the value area high of this entire massive range was, from where we went parabolic up to a new all-time high of over $108,000. Then we had this resistance line, right? Which is where we had this previous swing high, which is right over here. And we stalled out right here before we then eventually moved up after we bounced off of the value area low here, right? So this was a massive area of interest where you were going to see a lot of people selling, okay? Secondarily, I saw all of this happening in real time. So I was like, all right, this makes sense to front run this head and shoulders. But now this is the only time that you would front run a head and shoulders or a cup and handle, is whenever it is running into a resistance or a support level at that inflection point. As you can see right here, the top of this right shoulder is running into the value area high and this key level of resistance, right? That's 3 confirmations that are telling you, yo, you should be short right now, right? That's why I went short at that point. And if you look, now we have lost the 200 moving average, right? We confirmed it right here, and we bearishly back tested it right here. We've lost the 50. If we close this candle here, we're confirming it, and then we're about to lose the 100 moving average. So like, it looks like it's got further downside, which is why I still have this open, this short position open. I wish my ETH short position was still open, but you know, I wasn't paying as much attention to that one because it's a $1,000 position as opposed to a $6,000 position. Which one are you going to manage, right? The 6K position, of course, because that's the one that's making you $2,000, $3,000, whereas ETH's going to make me 250, right? No big deal. So that is exactly why we took this short here and exactly why it played out exactly how I was talking about in the stream yesterday. And seriously, go watch this stream. This is it right here. This is where I talked about how I made the $1,900 profit trade. This is where I set up the $1,900 profit trade, right? And Yeah, I mean, literally, I streamed both of those trades live, and I'm streaming this one live too, showing people like, hey, here's my targets. Here's what needs to happen, right? So, as it pertains to Bitcoin, for us to bounce, because now we've lost the 200 on, let's just do top down analysis. Let's just do top down analysis. I'm going to take everything off of the charts. Go to the daily, see what's happening. Oh, that thing bearishly engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4 friggin' candles, man. That's not a good sign. This was a massive area of resistance, as you can see, as evidenced by this wick, this wick, this wick, this wick, this wick, this wick. Then we finally broke through it. We couldn't hold it and then dumped immediately. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. We dumped immediately under it in one full candle, bearishly engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upward candles in one candle, right? That's exactly what we're doing here. What happened after that? We went all the way down to $92,000, 91.3, right? So that's why I'm still holding this, right? And so that's kind of our top-down analysis. What has happened now lately? On the daily chart, if we don't close above 97.6 today, we have lost the 50 moving average, right? Now, in order to confirm that, we will have to wait until tomorrow's close to see if it stays below the 50 because, you know, the same thing that can happen, man. Like we've lost the 50, we've lost the 20, and we've lost the 9 moving average as it sits right now. This can curl right back up and reclaim those tomorrow, right? Which is why I have my stop loss set. But in the same sense, what it can also do, because it is massively overextended from here, since we lost the 50, it can trickle all the way down here to the 100 moving average, which is right at that 85K level that I was talking about, right? And then if you lose that level, guess where it's taking? About 74K. Because by the time you reach there, this is on a daily chart, this 200 moving average will probably be somewhere up in here. This 100 moving average will probably be somewhere up in here. So it's trending upward. So you could probably see it at like 75, 76K, 74K, something like that. So that's my point, is like, that's why I'm still going to hold this short. So we really, if you want to be bullish on Bitcoin, you got to close above this, right? You got to close above this 50, which I don't think we're going to do it today, right? But 97.6, right? Let's put a level there. Where's that? 50 MA, 50 MA, 1 day. Okay. There you go. So there's your first level that you know that you need. That's your line in the sand to be bullish, right? To be bullish. Now, if you get bullish and you do close above that, and then you come back and you back test it as support, yeah, you're probably ripping. You're probably going to target these highs first and foremost, because these highs line up very well with this one, right? So this would be a good take profit level. And that's where the value area high is that I can show you right here from this fixed range volume profile. It's very simple. Boom. Value area high, this orange line, right? Then you would be targeting all-time highs, okay? It's that simple. It's literally that simple. That's your trade. Now, if you don't and you bearishly retest this, you're aiming for the value area low and this resistance point right down here at about 91.2, right? So you're aiming for 91.2 to about 92.5 or something like that. Where was the value area low? Let's give you the exact level, right? $93,000 or so, roughly in that realm. And then your next level after that is this swing low, which is at exactly $91,271.19, right? If you fall from that, you're going here, okay? Nothing's going to save you. Nothing is going to save you. There's no volume here. There's zero volume here. You're going here, right down here to the 50 or to the 100. My guess is you fall even further down here to the 80K, or not to the 80K range, somewhere in this realm, right? Yeah, that's just what's happening. That's what I'm seeing on the charts. That's what's happening. Okay. So we kind of know our levels on that. Okay. Now I do want to show you a couple of daily things that are happening, and that we do have a bull flag on the weekly chart still. But we do have an upward trending channel to a certain extent on this. All right. And we're going to draw it with again, like this TA, man, it is not rocket science, and you don't have to overcomplicate the hell out of it. Okay. That's your upward trending channel, right? So you do have an upward trending channel, but here's the bad news about that upward trending channel. What does that also show you? A friggin' bear flag, man, a massive one at that, right? So we did kiss it 1, 2, 3 times, and we got rejected every single time for a massive move downwards. Massive move, kissed it, massive move, hit it, massive move. This is what it is. That's what I'm seeing on the daily chart. Bitcoin downside, right? Now, we have to get above here in order for it to be bullish. I'm going to give you both sides. We could come down here, test this channel at 93.6, which is right by one of our other levels that we were just talking about, which is the value area low, and then bounce. And if we get above this, then we can ride this friggin' channel, right? Back up to the all-time highs. But we got to get above that level. And it's getting increasingly harder to do that because we're getting a lot of downside pressure and downside momentum here, right? So that's kind of your, I don't know, top-down analysis on Bitcoin, right? From the daily chart. Now, I do see another trend channel that we can draw as well, a parallel channel that goes from, say, somewhere around here, goes right over here. Bam. So that could get you up to the all-time highs here in a few days, right? We're talking by mid-January that this trend channel right here takes you up to the all-time highs. Let's see when it would actually be. January 21st. That if you rode this channel and you're right in the middle of it, but you lost the middle of it, right? If you ride this channel up and we bounce from the value area low, you could come up here, right? And you could crack the all-time highs. Now, there's a couple of other things that I need people to understand. If the S&P continues to fall, it's going to bring Bitcoin down with it. All right. People can be as mad as they want or whatever and scream and shout about it. But that's the thing. Okay. The S&P brings Bitcoin down with it. You've got the 9 curling over. You've lost the 9. You're headed to the 20. If the 20 starts curling over, you're headed to the 50 right here. Right. You've got a little bit of support right here. Right. Let's just show you the support lines. And I'm not going to get too far into the weeds on this, but you've got support there. Okay. You've got support probably maybe right here. Oops. Maybe right here at this swing low. Okay. And then maybe right here at this swing low. Other than that, it's a massive fall all the way down to here. That's it. So if the S&P continues to trend downwards, like it's going to drag Bitcoin with it, and you're going to keep seeing Bitcoin going downwards, right? Now, if we, I mean, that's really it. That's really it for the 1 day, right? That's really it. So let's put 1 day key levels, and then we will put our line in the sand. We know it's like right here, right? So 102.8. We need to get above 102.8. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go to the weekly chart just really quick. I want to go to the weekly chart and show you one thing that actually is bullish a little bit for this. Guys, I'm watching the chat. Nobody has requested anything except for XYO. Stack them up so that I can get to them here in just a second. I promise you, I'm going to do the TA. Okay, so if we look at the 1 week here, let me see what this. What are these? That was a rising. Okay. I want to go back to the 1 hour chart just really quick and show you what that was. This is another reason why I shorted here. You have an upward trending channel. What do upward trending channels normally do? They bing, bong, and then they break down. We are breaking to the downside. We have lost the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. It's not great. It's not awesome, right? So we've lost the 50 on the daily chart, right? My guess is on the weekly, we're still super overextended. We're not even close to the 50. So there's probably a lot of downside room for us to move to the downside on the 1 day chart, right? Now, this upward trending channel, we kissed it. Actually, we hit it. We hit it twice. Bam and bam. This was like the perfect storm for a dump, right? Value area high, massive level of resistance. We were getting close to the 75% of the measured move on the cup and handle, and we had this upward trending channel right here, micro channel that we hit the top of, and we had an upward trending channel, macro on the daily chart that we also hit. Like, that's why I shorted. And we had a head and shoulders on the 4-hour that was the top of the right shoulder. Dude, like, it was, I mean, that was textbook short side, right? So let me actually, this was upward trending channel on the hourly. 1 hour upward trending channel. Make sure you're saving your stuff into folders. That way you know what the hell's going on your charts. Okay. So then let's get to the weekly, and I'll show you what I was talking about with the there's a bull flag. That's the good news that we have for Bitcoin right now, is that we do have a bull flag on the weekly. We just got rejected outside of it, right? This bull flag has been respected. We have downside on that bull flag all the way down to 88K, which is right at that value area, under that value area low, which is at that key level of support on the VRVP. I'll show you. That's the line in the sand right there before volume falls off. Literally line in the sand. Okay. Let's draw a little line there, and we'll put it. Okay. So that's bottom of the channel. 1 week bottom bull flag and VRVP fall off. Okay. So that kind of gives you that. Your key levels here are going to be the same as on your daily chart for the most part, right? You got to get above this level right here, which is 98.8. Okay, so we'll chart that. This is your resistance. It's actually 100,000. Okay, so resistance. You got to get above that. And then these are the 1 week key level. Okay. So in my opinion, the weekly, it doesn't look any better. Look how far extended we are from the 20 moving average, which is a friggin' magnet. The 20 is all the way down here at literally $79,000. Let's put that in there. 1 week, 20 MA. Okay. So we add that to our key levels folder. These are our key levels, man. These are our key levels on the weekly chart. That's that. It's not looking bullish. It's not looking bullish. Are we trying to bounce off of the 9 moving average? Yes, we are. But are we bouncing? Nope, we've lost it. We won't know that until the end of next week, right? But, or at least the end of this week, which is Sunday, when this weekly candle closes. So that's kind of where we're at. And we're right at the point of, we've already lost the point of control on this range, right? The point of control is right here. 97.4. Okay, so let's say POC 1 week. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, here's what we got to do. We got to get above the point of control, which is 97.437. You look at the daily key levels, same thing, man. You got to get above 97.5 or so. Then you got to get above 98.7. That's really what it comes down to on the daily and the weekly chart. We're not even going to chart the monthly because by that point, like, dude, this is not even going to matter. Go to the 4-hour. Okay, so 4-hour. Damn, dude. Yeah, the 4-hour, I mean, we lost the 50, the 200, and we're bearishly testing the 100 right now. We have bullishly bounced off of it. My guess is it's probably going to come back up here, try to retest the 50 MA, and then it's, or it's just straight up going to fall here, right? This is the line in the sand on this, right? The 200 or the 100 MA. That's your last level of support. 100 MA support on the 4-hour. Okay, there's that. So then your key level on that is going to be right here. 50 moving average. 50 MA resistance, 4-hour. Okay, that's what you're looking at. I mean, these are dynamic moving averages. You have to take these things into account. And look where that's coinciding with a really, really hard level that we struggled with, right? Then you're going to have the same resistance, which is right here. in the 97.8 range. Boom. I mean, 97.5 to 97.6 to 97.8 range, right? So you've got another key level right here that is a support resistance flip. This used to be support, right? Bam, bam, came up, resistance. Now it's resistance. So, I mean, this is key level of resistance, 4-hour resistance. Yeah, I mean, this is like, it ain't looking great. You got to hold this level right here. Like, you really have to hold this 96.2 level. 4-hour resistance. Boom. Let's put these into a folder themselves. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking great. 4-hour key levels. So let's turn those off. I want to see what the RSI is doing. Yeah, RSI still isn't even in oversold territory. Like I was talking about this yesterday, how when RSI is way up here, what was likely to happen was it was going to come down here, cross this signal line, come out of because it was at like 80. And then come out of overbought territory and then start heading towards oversold territory. It's still not there. The stochastics, which reacts faster, is actually at, I think it's at 0 right now. So there, I mean, you could see a bounce over the next few hours, or over the next few 4-hour candles on Bitcoin. But I mean, you really need it to bounce above this 50. That's really what it comes down to. You got to get above 97K for this to be bullish, man. You got a red dot here that printed right when we entered, right? Boom. That's on Market Cipher B. If you want to use Market Cipher B, it's not required. It's kind of expensive. You can use my link in the description and get you 15% off. Feel free to use it. Feel free not to. I don't think you need Market Cipher B. I use it as further confluence, but as you can see, I don't make it a massive portion of like my trading strategy. It's just like a secondary confirmation that I use for. Let's see what's happening on the daily with RSI. It's just now crossing the signal line to the downside. That's pointing for further downside, guys. Like, just being real. Stochastics just are starting to cross the signal line yesterday, is just now starting to leave overbought territory. Like, it's got a ways to fall. I mean, dude, I mean, we could be going to 80K here. Like, seriously. And I don't say that to scare people. I say that to prepare people. Like, we could go to 80K and then bounce from 80K, go to new all-time highs, right? Like, this is what healthy markets do. So let's see what's happening on the weekly chart. RSI just crossed the signal line literally this week. Just left oversold or overbought territory. It has a ways to go to fall down there. Red dot a few weeks ago. Stochastics barely halfway down, crossed the signal line, what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to continue downwards. That's my bias. I would consider adding to my position and getting my stuff back. If we were to bearishly retest this 97K range, let's go to the 1-hour chart and let's find our key levels, right? Well, let's look at the 3-hour, see what Market Cipher's saying. Yep, red dot on the 3-hour. Boom, money flow coming out. VWAP crossover down to the downside. Momentum dying off. Same shit. Pardon my French. You got RSI. It's starting to get down more towards like this oversold territory. It still hasn't got there. Stochastic is in oversold territory. It's at the 0 line. That's good news for a bounce, right? But again, you've lost the 100, or you've lost the 200. You've lost the 50. You had a golden cross right here, but that 50 is going to curl right back down under this 200 again. Look, you had a golden cross right here on this candle. That's why I say don't trade golden crosses right there. You would have gotten wrecked. You got dumped on, right? You got to check out other market indicators if you're going to trade that type of stuff. We're literally just under the 100 moving average on the 3-hour chart. That doesn't look good. Okay, let's look at the 2-hour chart. I'm trying to find some good news for people. I really am. Because I know we got like, Bitcoin bulls in here and stuff like that. Yep, 2-hour chart, we've lost every single moving average that matters. Every single one. If we confirm down here below this, I mean, you're looking at, you've lost the 200. It's further downside. You've got the RSI that is in oversold territory. That's good news. You got the stochastic that's in oversold territory. It's about to cross the signal line. That is good news. Market cipher, not good news. Money flow is leaving right now. This green is money flow. It's probably going to turn out and turn red and cross down here. And you've got your momentum that is curled downwards. And then you also have your VWAP that has gone down here. Starting to come back up. But if money flow goes down here, VWAP is going to continue downwards, at least in my opinion. And yeah, that's not looking good on that time frame either. And then let's get to our 1 hour chart, which is what we were trading and what we are trading. And let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. Yeah, we lost the 200. We closed this candle in like literally what, 37 minutes. If we close this candle under here, it's not looking good for Bitcoin. I mean, it's just not looking good. That's all I can say. Further downside. Massive, massive. We've got value area low. Let me get this stupid thing off of here. Visible range volume profile. Yeah. I mean, you're riding this to the value area low at this point. That's what you're doing. Because if we confirm below this, like we got to get above this 96.9. So, I mean, you're looking like you got to get above $97,000 on Bitcoin right now if you want to be long. Did we just get a green dot that printed on Market Cipher? Yeah. Does that matter right now? No, it doesn't, because we're trending downwards. We've got VWAP starting to cross over to the upside. If money flow doesn't bump here, it's all she wrote, because if it crosses down to the red, then it's not going to be looking good. You do have a double green dot, which is great news. But as you can see, this has been green. This is why I say, like, you can't just use Market Cipher only, right? This has been green the entire time from here. This is the candle on Monday, January 6th at 1500, right? Let's see what Market Cipher B has been saying since then. Monday, January 6th at 1500. I mean, they gave you a friggin' green dot and then 3 hours later gave you a red dot. Money flow has been in the green. VWAP crossover here to the upside. Momentum was going up, right? While price was going down. That's a bearish divergence. And this has been green the entire time. So can you take this and say this is a good news for Bitcoin? No, you can't. The RSI being this oversold is very good news. It is it's at 1516. We probably are going to get a bump here, right? And then if you look at the stochastic, it's been like leveled out as 0 for the past like 5 hours. So are we going to get a bump here? Yes, potentially we could. But my bias is that bump is going to look something like this. We're at 96.2. I think that bump is going to look something like this. Boom. You're going to see it, and then bam, right? And what you'll see in that same time frame is you'll see RSI come all the way up here, and then it'll tank again. You'll see stochastic come all the way up here, and then it'll tank again. So that's probably more likely what's going to happen, in my opinion, with these green dots printing, with RSI being all the way down here. Whoops. With RSI and stochastics being all the way down here. Let's get into the weeds, man. Let's look at the 30-minute time frame. See what's happening. Okay, so you've got bullish green dots here and still continuing to dump, right? You've got RSI has been just leveled out. Like, look at this friggin' thing, man. Let me see what it even is at. Dude, RSI is at 12, okay? Usually when RSI gets above or below 20, that's where you need to be looking. And then if it gets down to 10s, that's where it's like you should really consider a bounce, right? Same thing with stochastics once it gets down to 0, which is what it's doing. Now you do see money flow curling to the upside, but you see momentum curling to the upside, but you still see money flow coming out. That's what that red line means on market side. I don't see anything that would look great right now. Let me see for any like bullish divergences. Nothing. I don't see. Yeah, there's nothing on the 30-minute chart. That's a shorter time frame that says we would be going up. There's nothing there. 15-minute. Yeah, you just confirmed a red dot. Money flows going out massively. Stochastic bounced. Here's the strength of the stochastic bounce on this. Stochastic at 1530 bounced all the way up to 1930, right? Look at the strength of this bounce though. 1530. It started at 98,461 And then at 1930, it was literally down. So your stochastic was going up while price was going down, right? That's crazy. So yeah, I mean, there's no strength here. There's literally no strength. I'm not even going to get into the 5-minute, 1-minute chart because I think we can spend our time better elsewhere on other altcoins and things of that sort. I'll go check out XYO now that you said that. But I also want to check out ETH really quick first. And then we're going to get into some, yeah, dude. Damn, I wish I was holding my short still on ETH because, I mean, ETH's got downside, massive downside. Let's go back to the 1-hour chart. I don't like this. Yeah, I mean, ETH's got massive downside all the way down here to $3,100. I wish I was still holding my short. But here's the good news. Like, I would consider entering short again right here at 34.50 and then at 3,500, which is just under the 200 moving average. And then I would probably place my stop loss like probably above like 30.50, something like that. 35.90 maybe, something like that. And I would be targeting these extreme lows down here. That's what I would be targeting. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of the same on ETH. And this is why I say, like, you can't always trade oscillators. Like, keep things simple. Don't get lost in the sauce, man. Like, this is why whenever I'm doing my analysis, I do it like this, right? With this screen right here, just like this. And I show you the trend lines, and I show you the charting patterns, and I show you the candlesticks, and I show you the dynamic moving averages, the dynamic support and resistances, which are moving averages. And I do volume profiles, FRVP, fixed range volume profile, and visible range volume profile, because that is dynamic. Okay. That's why I do that, because sometimes if you got lost in the sauce here and you were like, oh, dude, like RSI stochastic is at 0. This was at 1100 on Tuesday, which is today. Look what would have happened to you if you entered long here, right? 1100 on Tuesday. You would have entered at best case 36.43, and you would be down ridiculously 7.5%. That's why you can't like rely on this. Even right here, right? You can't just solely rely on these indicators. Dude, RSI is like bottomed out. It's showing the pink sign like, yo, you need to be longing this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight hours, right? At the same time, at 1500, at the same time, you've got stochastic bottomed out at 0 for that whole time, right? This stuff can stay down here for a while. If you would have even bought long there, like, think about that. You'd still be down 2.5%, right? And if you're at, you know, depending on what leverage you're at, dude, like that could be a detrimental, you know, thing. So let's see what XYO is, man. Let's see what XYO is. I appreciate Dr. Phil Good for requesting XYO on Coinbase. Okay, so just really quick public service announcement. If Bitcoin continues to dump, pretty much almost everything's going to continue to dump. Okay, there's going to be those outliers that don't, right? Obviously. But I'm saying across the top 100, across the top 50, across the top 20, a lot of these are going to trickle downwards with it, right? That means AVAX, that means Ethereum, that means XRP, all of these, right? So just understand and take some of this analysis with a grain of salt, understanding that BTC is like the S&P of crypto, right? It is going to be your economic driver, right? So just understand that even if we do the analysis on this, if Bitcoin keeps going down, I'm favoring downside further for altcoin. Okay. You are at a kind of key level of support. You're not quite there yet. Okay. So there's 2 key levels of support. Let's look at the hourly. Well, actually, I mean, this doesn't necessarily look super terrible. I'll be honest with you. But, you know, all of this could be nullified pretty friggin' quickly. Okay, so there's your trend line right there, right? This is your trend line. This is your channel, right? And this is probably just part of a big bear flag. Yeah, it is. It's just part of a big bear flag, man. Like, look at this thing. Big A bear flag. That's all this is. It's just a very mature bear flag. but it is range trading. Right? That's the good news. But the problem is that you came here to try to have some bullish momentum and push upwards, and then Bitcoin started kind of rolling over. And once you get to the middle of this trend channel and you don't bounce, it's not favoring upside anymore. Now it's favoring downside. You're seeing it play out, right? So here's your key levels, right? If you fall below here, that is actually intersecting, right? So you've got, the 1.873 cents, somewhere in that realm. Then your next key level right here, 1.761 cents. And then you've got your double bottom over here, kind of like a little itty bitty double bottom. And that's your key level there. So this is where if Bitcoin goes to 80K, let's see how far this actually measures too, because if Bitcoin goes to 80K, that's like a 20% drop from here. Yeah, I mean, this is only a 13% drop. My guess is if Bitcoin goes to 80K, you're coming back down here, baby. Like, be real with you. Because there's nothing else all the way through here from a 1.66 cents all the way down to 1.16 cents. That's probably what you're going to see. There's going to be zero volume through here, right? Let's pull the visible range volume profile. Yeah, zero volume. It dies off right here. Like, this is your line in the sand. $1 or 1.75 cents. And if you don't get there, honestly, this might not even hold, to be real with you. You're probably coming all the way down here to the value area low, which is like 8.5 tenths of a cent. Right? Now, could you bounce like through here where you see this kind of like little triple top right here? Yeah, you could. Little triple top right there. But yeah, I would say, dude, I mean, this thing, I would be targeting downside to 1.681 cents. That's where I would be looking at. Especially if you get through here. If you get through here, I would definitely be targeting that downside. Okay. Then you would have to see a massive bounce once you got here. Like, I mean, massive volume to even get you back up to this trend channel, right? Because what I'm seeing right here, let's just draw this. You have broken above this trend line, right? Which is great. But guess where this trend line is going to take you, right? All the way down to these levels. So like, yeah, it just doesn't look great. I'm trying to find something to like, something that looks friggin' bullish, man, but nothing looks bullish on this right now. Nothing looks bullish. There's no descending triangles. Nothing. Yeah. Price target, if I had to, you got a gun to my head, 1.66 cents, 1.67 cents, something like that. At the very least, you're probably targeting 1.75 cents. So, I mean, that's a pretty good shorting opportunity, to be honest with you. But would I be shorting here? No. There is no trade as of right now. In my opinion, there's no trade. I only take setups that are good. I only take setups that have high probability. And this move is already, super. If you're short here, it's already super in the green for you, 9%. I would want to enter here on a retest of the midpoint of this channel and these kind of like resistance right here that dates all the way back to here, over here, right? Boom. Huge resistance. Yeah, I mean, watch Bitcoin, man. Watch it like a hawk. If you're trying to take any trades right now, if you're trying to take any trades, whether they're longs or shorts, watch Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to determine exactly where we're going to go. We know our key levels on Bitcoin right now, and use them. Write them down. I gave them all to you on this call. And if you didn't write them down, like, rewind the track and get them written down. We're already like, dude, I mean, this does not look great. Like, they're like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 candles in a row. Massive downtrend. I mean, I think we're targeting on Bitcoin. We're targeting this value area low. We're targeting the value area low at the very least. Fixed range value area low. Boom. We lost all this stuff. We lost everything today. I didn't lose everything today because obviously, you know how I'm getting down. I was shorting. I called this trade out immediately and we took it for gains, and we're going to keep taking it for gains. Scaled out of it, already locked in $1,300 profit. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So with all that being said, hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully the kind of analysis on the cup and handle and the reason why I took that long trade that made me $1,900, hopefully that was helpful to you. I explained everything that I could on the rules of a cup and handle, what it should look like, what the rules are, what the entrance and exit criteria is, how to find it, how to chart it, where to enter, where to exit, the measured move, how to measure where it's going to go, where to exit on that measured move, the only time that you should ever enter on a charting pattern and try to front run it, which is exactly what we did on my short that is now up $2,300 right now. Hopefully that stuff was super helpful to everybody, man. Yeah, I mean, I really truly appreciate everybody for kind of like jumping on, and we got 4 dozen people in here. Here's my public service announcement to everybody. Give me some stuff to do, man. Like I'm kind of like your show pony right now. You're like, all right, Drew, and I get it. I appreciate it. Even if you're not asking me, I appreciate you being here because you're like, yo, let Drew cook, right? Let him, he's in the kitchen, let him cook, man, and show us the Bitcoin analysis. I appreciate that. There's only so much Bitcoin analysis we can do. There's only so much Ethereum analysis we can do. Give me some other altcoins. What is it that you're looking at in the comments section? Tell me what you're looking at. And I'll tell you about some special offers, coming in the coming weeks that we're rolling out for people. This channel is going to be a lot more interactive. We're going to take this a lot more seriously. We haven't really been utilizing YouTube as much as we probably should. Now that I've built the platform and kind of have a following, I want to help people kind of do some of the things that I do. And it's been a massive request from people saying, hey man, can you can you do TA? And I'm like, yeah, no doubt. It takes me like an hour a day. I can do it. And we try to do these streams as much as we possibly can. So with that being said, hopefully this is helpful to people. If you like content like this, make sure you smash the like button. If you want to be notified of these streams so that you can take $2,000, $3,000, $1,000, $250 profitable trades with me live when I'm doing it, dude, make sure you hit that notification bell, or make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then boom, bang on the notification bell so that it tells you whenever I'm live. Okay. So that's my public service announcement to everybody. Make sure you are subscribed to the friggin' channel. We're over here. We're taking gains. You see it live. I'm showing my trades. I'm showing my wins. I'm showing my losses. I'm showing everything. I'm showing when I'm hedging my positions. I'm showing when I'm taking profit, when I'm going to let it ride because I'm risk-free. I'm showing my entire strategy. I'm letting everybody in my head. I'm talking my thought process through all of the trades. I'm doing as much as I can. This is all free to anybody that wants to watch. Come over here, learn some stuff, and then go out and take some trades for yourself. Make yourself some money, get yourself some financial freedom, get yourself some time freedom, be able to do the things that you want to do because you have a skill that no one else can take from you. Okay. No one can take that from you. You get an Amazon store on Amazon.com. Guess what? Even if you're the best Amazon reseller of all time, right? I'm the Michael Jordan of Amazon resellers. Guess what can happen in a split second? Amazon can close your account down and say, guess what? You're banned from selling on Amazon. I don't have to have a reason. I'm Amazon. They just took your whole business from you. This, no one can take from you. No one can take this from you because it is a skill that you have up here. So learn it here. Support the channel. I appreciate. Make sure you like the video. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. Boom! Bang on the notification bell. Comment any altcoins that you're looking at in the relevant sections below. I will see you in the next stream. Everybody have a good day. Let's see if we can keep these gains going. Peace.